Today's episode is brought to you by Forvis Mazars.
SoundCartel.
From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. Business lounges, flights, beautiful hotels, gin and tonic at 30,000 feet. Let's face it, business travel might be gruelling, but at times it can also be fun. But the good times are coming to an end, according to sales and negotiation consultant Julia Ewert. She says it's all because of rising costs, so salespeople should polish their video conferencing skills or fall behind the pack. Julia starts by describing the lay of the land to Jeff Waters.
What we're noticing with this year in 2023, because of the cost of travel, we are absolutely seeing companies make decisions that are going to really halt that because they're going to reel in their spending. So this will mean that business travel, especially if it's continual travel, to build long relationships with clients or to find new clients or to even keep existing clients, travel may now be off the table to do that.
Has the use of Zoom and video conferencing contributed to this issue?
I wouldn't suggest it's contributed to the issue. It's a solution for the rising cost of travel. So if your company is having to travel right now to build relationships, to win clients, to keep in touch with people, and this is now off the table, it's really important that your company embraces whatever your chosen online video portal is, whether that's WebEx, Zoom, Teams, because if your team are unskilled at how to build connection with people through video conferencing, they will be left behind, which will be your competitive disadvantage.
So you've got to work up the skills to use this technology well. I suppose what I was asking was, has a change in culture generally brought on by the pandemic made Zooming interstate as opposed to flying interstate more acceptable?
Yes, it definitely has made it more acceptable. Absolutely.
Unfortunately, though, not travelling means there will be an impact on tourist economies. Is that the case?
To some degree, it may, Jeff. When it comes to business travel, a lot of what I'm seeing is people taking business trips, especially domestically. There's not a lot of leisure time there anyway. So these people who are travelling for business trips are generally seeing hotels, airports, and going back to the airport and going back home. So I probably wouldn't be expert to speak on whether that it impacts tourist dollars, but I absolutely would be able to share that when we're seeing it with business travel, when they're domestic trips, people are getting over to the other side of the country, doing what they need to do, and they're coming back, if they are still allowed to travel, that is.
So they don't spend that many dollars on doing things over the weekend.
Yeah, that people these days want to get home to their families.
All right, so are we in effect seeing the demise of the business trip? Do you think it's all over?
No, I still have clients that are doing travel. Businesses are just smarter with it these days, Jeff. They're working out how essential is this trip, how many times will this trip need to be made, how critical is it. What can be the really big needle mover for businesses here is where we talked before about using your online video conferencing software. One small portion of that is knowing which buttons to click and how your camera looks. The biggest portion of using that software is how do you build a connection with someone when you can't physically sit next to them and enjoy coffee. And, even in my own company, I have clients that I have had for a couple of years now, and we've never sat shoulder to shoulder. And neither of us seem to have a problem with it. So it absolutely is possible to have great clients and exceptional relationships simply by talking to people online.
So what are the secrets of being effective when you're doing this online?
One of them is having more than one conversation. So if the travel has been replaced with online meetings and people are required to win new business or maintain relationships or existing customers, for example, some of the ways that this can be done well are making sure first we allocate the appropriate amount of time to the conversation. There is nothing worse, as I'm sure you can imagine, than having an hour booked for a chat and getting there and someone doesn't turn up. Or they say, I can only meet for 15 minutes. I've got something else I need to be at. So making sure that you allow the right amount of time to have that conversation is crucial. Something that I share often is if people want to cut the meeting time short, significantly shorter, but I know that they have an interest in talking with me, is first I share with them a phrase that I use all the time, and it would be along the lines of, Jeff, it's great that we could make the time to chat together today. Recognise that you said you've only got maybe 10 minutes now, not an hour. Jeff, it sounds like this was going to be an important conversation for you, so I'd rather do this the right way, not the fast way. So let's reschedule to a time where we can slow it down and have a proper conversation, because I'm not here to transact with you. I'm actually here to have a great conversation together. Let's reschedule. I will not try, and I think it's not a great strategy to try and cram everything now into 10 minutes. That 10 minutes is best used with you getting your calendar out, me getting mine out, Jeff, and we make a time that suits us both.
That was sales and negotiation consultant Julia Ewert. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow at BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel. This episode was brought to you by Forvis Mazars. To find out more, visit forvismazars.com/au. That's FORVISMAZARS.com/au.